Get set to take on Wheaton College. The Thunder, of course, coming off a dramatic 3-0 victory. Well, a little bit less drama as we may have anticipated going into that game last night against Washington University of St. Louis, but the Thunder were able to really dominate from beginning to end with goals in the 24th, 25th, and 55th minutes, and Ryan Seeger pitched his fourth shutout of the year. Now the Thunder really hoping not to have a letdown game of any sort. We're just getting first kick underway. The first segments have been played and touched out of bounds in Webster in their home striped uniforms with black and gray with white shorts and black trim. Kind of interesting Army looking type jerseys as the Thunder are in their road orange as this ball is being played in toward the box, crossed in toward the middle. Skinker trying to make a play on it, and there was a chance to make a shot there. Tough to see the numbers from here, but that was number 4 Pat McCaffrey, a junior out of St. Louis, who had a shot at that opportunity in the box, but his foot trackled right over it. We'll get you starters in just a moment as the Thunder get into minute number 2 here as they take initial possession into the offensive half. That's Noah Anthony, a starter in the back line for the Thunder. As he dribbles all the way into the box, he has a chance to cross into here. Clark with a left foot to it, but it falls high and wide. Get your starters for the Thunder. In goal, it will be Ryan Seeger, the senior out of West Chicago, Illinois, and Wheaton Academy. Nathan Jaspers, the junior, is out of Thousand Oaks High, and he's at midfield. Stephen Goltz, a freshman from River Forest. He's at forward, along with Adam Blackman, the sophomore out of Urbana. Noah Anthony, the sophomore transfer from St. Charles and Ohio Northern, as this ball is crossed a corner kick in toward the box, shielded away. Now Russo trying to make a follow-up shot on it. It's cleared. Anthony gets it back, sends it on with a left foot. A header toward the goal is loose, sails over the face. Clark tries to rebound outside the box, marked by a defender, turned around the other way, but Jaspers possesses. Jaspers circling around, still on his right foot. Circle of striped shirts there to cut him off. Now Blackman, there goes a whistle as Adam falls to the turf. There will be a set piece from here for the Thunder. Coming up in the following sequence, Noah Anthony, we mentioned, he's a sophomore starting in the back. Josh Clark, the senior out of Palatine, in the middle. Stephen Russo in the back, junior out of Del Mar, New York. Kevin Skinker, Chad Musgraves, Julian Vanderdoes, the freshman coming over from Pau, France, in the Lycée de Louis Barthou, and Elliot Borge, a freshman out of Western Springs, Lions Township High. He starts in the middle as well for the Thunder. Anthony sets it up, curves in a left footer that skips once along the ground. Now is turned away by the Webster defense. We'll get you starters for the home team in just a moment, as that was McCarthy had the ball on his left foot. Play to the far side for Musgrave. So Vanderdoes getting the call in the middle back for Coach Giuliano's squad. It's good to see Julian get some starters minutes, see what he can do with them. This ball sent into the forward half off of Russo. Anthony will come back to recover and play it all the way back to Ryan Seeger. Seeger, the ball on his right foot as he just sends it up over the top of the 18 and will send it forward, advancing it toward Blackman. Adam helping on with a header. Goes into the back line of the Webster defense. Touched away. Now here comes Vanderdoes onto it, and with the left foot sends it back to Seeger again for the Thunder. Wheaton played a tough match with Wash U last night, but just talking around with the team, you say those 2 goals back-to-back really do some back-breaking damage when you're in an emotional environment in a big game. Of course, the Thunder were ranked 8th in the NSCAA polls going into the week, and Wash U ranked 9th. Wash U had only allowed 1 goal all year prior to last night, and they hadn't lost before the result yesterday evening. Here's Jaspers, sends it into the middle circle for Russo. Steven advances to Borge here. Borge circles with the right foot around a man, sends it on back to Clark. Goes back to Elliott, advancing a few yards up the pitch. Now to the sideline for Blackman. Adam on his right foot cuts toward the end line, brings it into the box, crosses it in. It's loose for a brief moment. Jasper's trying to work around to get a shot up, but defense had him shielded. Vanderdoes recovers, throws it in the back right for Skinker, and retreats it into the middle circle for Russo. Thunder defenders doing a nice job of playing good, smart possession ball. And here comes a cutting Musgraves in toward, from the right in toward the middle, but he's tripped up and sent down. That's a foul. So Musgraves getting the starting nod as well, playing the left forward. Marshall Hollingsworth not on the starting pitch, as he was last night. It was Hollingsworth that got the Thunder on the board first on a beautiful looping through from Adam Blackman that hit the turf once, and Hollingsworth got a right foot into it. Had a charging keeper come off his line and put it right over his head. Scooted its way into the back of the net. That put the Thunder up 1-0. Here's Anthony approaching now. Clark to rifle in a shot that scoots along the turf once and is picked up by the keeper, Brian Woodward. And as he scoops it, we'll get you the starting lineups. Brian Woodward's a sophomore keeper out of Eureka, Missouri. He's in goal for Webster. Mark McHugh, the junior defender. Joining him in defense is Michael Dennis, the senior from Carbondale, number 20. As this ball's played in toward the box, Clark trying to make a play on it, cleared away. Now Jaspers brings it just about 20 yards out. Borge comes to charge. Vanderdoos picks it up, touches a little softly to Skinker, tried to come over and recover, but he was denied by Tyler Brown. Tyler Brown, Carlos Espinosa, Shane Vogt, all working in the middle along with Mike Wells. A couple sophomores in that midfield group. For Coach Marty Tote, who has been here 25 seasons at the helm at Webster University. Got to meet Coach Tote earlier this evening. Very kind, personable guy. The right foot clearance by Mark McHugh here as he throws it in toward the circle. Clark comes over to recover for the Thunder. Julian Vanderdoos advances near side for Blackman. Blackman had the assist to Hollingsworth to begin the scoring for the Thunder yesterday. So here comes Musgraves charging hard to try to win this one. So it's loose in the middle. Webster gets it back. And Blackman followed up the assist with a goal of his own just over a minute and a half later. Just dribbling outside the 18 box and then brought it in, sliced a shot right off a defender and in. For Adam, his third goal of the year. Stephen Goltz playing center forward for Coach Giuliano to start the ball game tonight as we see it. We are not in the press box. We are above the press box on a roofing landing area up here above Dennis P. Longfield. Here's Clark turning it around on his left foot, sends home a shot, slices it off the defender's legs and scooped up by the keeper Woodward. Thunder coming into the game 6-2. Couple losses, one to Dominican this past Tuesday and the other at Whitworth University, ranked 24th at the time. That was in Spokane during the trip out there. They've got a clean slate at home, 3-0. Dropped in the defensive half for Webster. Skinker coming over to try to make a play. Controlled along the left side. Good sprint being along the far side by Carlos Espinosa. Espinosa has got 3 goals to his name here in the young season so far. Ball chipped along with the left foot, helped on toward the top of the box. Cutting it off, dropped on back. Looking for maybe a left-footed shot. Skinker touches away. Cleared, now Espinosa on his left foot. Jaspers gets in front of him there, and Musgraves will drop it on back for Anthony along the far side. So the Thunder get their first real shot without Blackman sequence. Good pass from Skinker into Goltz to Clark to Blackman. This ball sent in toward the middle at the top of the 18. Coming back the other way are the Gorlocks. Under 34 minutes remaining in the first half. So the sun is officially almost gone down all around us here. Facing the eastern portion of the AB soccer field complex here. Here's Clark, makes a looping cross in toward Blackman, does a nice job to keep it inbounds, but possessed by Webster. Now Blackman steps Another Goltz to Borge. Borge thought about going right, cut left instead. Works his way through the middle. Slides it on back. Jaspers man on, bringing pressure. Bringing it back down is Vanderdoos. On the right foot of Jaspers, advances it up for Blackman. Blackman comes from sideline and brings it back in toward the middle. Defense colliding on him there was Clint Carter. Ball sent into the box and over the end line. It'll be a goal kick. Here, a lot of club soccer, high school soccer, youth soccer, rec soccer, all sorts of different levels. And of course, D3 soccer is Dennis P. Longfield at the AB Field Complex, serves as home to the Webster Gorlocks. Not a bad facility to play your home games in, I must say. There's a wedding going down below us as well. The reception. Saw the wedding cake down there. Looked beautiful. Of course, here for a soccer match. Borge on his right foot slides it the other direction looking for Skinker, and Skinker had to work to clear that one away from a charging Tyler Brown. Advanced up the sideline, touched up, there goes a flag. It's going to be out of bounds off Clark. Or regardless of foul here. Free kick for the Webster Gorlocks. Sent on up over the midfield stripe. Headed into the back. Vanderdoos gets there. His right foot slides it on up to Jaspers. Thunder have done a nice job being on the offensive possession. Here's Goltz coming over, touches it back. Skinker looks to keep it in play, does, and advances it in toward the box. No one going to be there though to make a play on the ball, and it's kept in off the foot of Brian Woodward. Goes on the right side. Thunder defense bringing high pressure, just want to maintain possession as long as they can. They have not gotten on the scoreboard yet in this match here against Webster, and they're mentioned yesterday just the importance of getting the initial advantage, especially on road contests. Thunder were able to do that with that big goal by Hollingsworth in the 24th minute. This ball is rifled into the back and played at the midfield stripe by Vanderdoos. Oh, wanted to get toward Jaspers. Had some pressure though, knocked it away. Now the Gorlocks bringing high pressure of themselves. Michael Dennis along with Tyler Brown applying the heat. This ball sent in, trying to change field towards Blackman's direction. Helped on with the right foot back in toward the circle. Russo makes a leap for it, and it's played on back to Vanderdoos, to Anthony. Noah sprints around the left side, try to advance it to Musgraves. It's tipped away out of bounds. Musgraves will take the throw, and he takes it quickly. Goltz turns it on his left foot, helps it to himself, working around the defender. Oh, he's being held there as he spins, crosses it off his left foot in toward the 6, deflected away by the defense, and now finally cleared. Musgraves keeps it in, and Borge possesses. Now Chad working with the right foot. He's sent down to the turf trying to work around a man. And it'll be another set piece from about 20 yards out. Anthony looks like he'll come over and make the play on it. Are we good?
Yeah.
Anthony has it back from about 30 yards. Orange shirts carrying the back half of the box. He approaches, sends it a low liner in, deflected away by the defense, played at the feet of Blackman outside the 18. He'll go and shoot this one, and it sails the crossbar. Had to look for it, and Adams put that one in the back of the net a few times. Got a couple goals against Calvin, or his one goal against Calvin was similar to that. He had another as well in that ball game in the second half. This ball sent in, one with a header by Borge, played at the feet of Musgraves. Chad turns it around, wants to slide it on up for Goltz. Goltz made his cut in toward the middle. And there goes a whistle here, and it's going to go against Webster. So another set coming up for the Thunder, about 25, 30 yards out again. Going into the 23rd minute here between Wheaton and Webster. Marshall Hollingsworth looks like he'll check in at the next opportunity. He'll send it on home. A header helped in toward the goal. Oh, it sails high and wide. by Goltz. Now Hollingsworth is going to come in here. He was looking to where exactly he would check in at the table, but nobody close to check into. No siren. You just have to do it manually. And
entering the game for the Thunder, number 25.
Chad Musgraves will exit the pitch, and Marshall Hollingsworth comes on in the front left forward position. Keeper Woodward addresses, steps it on up, leaping high to win the header is Anthony and gets to Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth tripped up as he makes his way, and he pulls up a little bit, just maybe stepped on his ankle there. Whistle did blow, so it's a foul against Webster, and Hollingsworth looks to run it off, jog it off, still limping a little bit. Thunder will play it quickly as Borge slides it on up with his right foot, goes in the back for Jaspers. Nathan goes in toward the middle for Blackman, touched away by the defense and skipped right into the arms of Woodward. He'll fling it near sideline for McCaffrey. On his left foot, looking to change field. Anthony is there. Soft touch. Trying to get possession is Russo. Some hard offense coming on, though, for the Gorlocks, as they look to try to possess for a while in their own offensive half. Slid near side. Possession kept by McHugh. Rolled in toward that near side corner. Here comes Vanderdoos, and then played off the feet of the Webster forward and over the end line. And Seeger will have a goal kick. Thunder still scoreless with Webster. About 21.5 minutes remaining in half number one. Wheaton will remain on the road for the next week. Next Tuesday, traveling to Dubuque, Iowa to take on Loras College. And word on the D3 Street is that Loras is definitely, arguably, one of the best teams in the nation, if not the best. So, though it's not a regional test, it still means a lot for the Thunder to see how they rank up against one of the nation's best teams. This ball is cleared away, and Seeger had to try to make that clearance, and there's a leaping block made by Wells to get in front of it, and it goes out of bounds. So the Thunder will have a deep throw-in. Skinker looking to advance it up to Clark, headed away, and the Thunder will keep possession, advancing it up about 20 yards or so into the defensive half. Skinker will take it again, fires sideline. Blackman vaults it up in the air, helps it on, in toward the middle, looking for Stephen Goltz, cut off the ball. Played back now to Espinosa and Vogt. Into the back line of the Gorlocks. Coming on hard is Vanderdoos, or excuse me, yeah, that is Vanderdoos looking to win that. And Jaspers now has some space, plays it on his foot, makes a sprint up the right side. Now here's Borge. Borge helps it back on to Nathan Jaspers. He cuts it off, gets touched away from possession there. Webster trying to play it back. There goes a whistle. It's going to be against Elliott, pulling a man down. Under 20 minutes for the first half, still no score at halftime. We'll send it back to Kyla Phelps at the WETN Sports Desk for a Thunder Sports Report. And we'll bring it right back here for half number two. Hopefully within the next 20 minutes, Wheaton aspires to getting on the scoreboard and taking a lead. Rolled forward Jaspers to Borge. Elliott tripped up. Trying to make a play on it. He just falls down and corrals the ball. And it's going to be a kick coming up for Webster. About 35 yards out. First set piece that the Gorlocks have had within striking distance. Espinosa is the one to set it up and address. And he'll play it quickly toward that far side, but Hollingsworth is going to read it, get to it, and clear it out of bounds. So they wanted to sneak him in, bleed him out on the right side, but Hollingsworth was able to read it. Not a particularly good ball by Espinosa. But it will be thrown into the offensive half. It'll be a long throw, fired all the way in toward the box. Goltz gets a header to it though. Ball popped high into the air. Seeger comes all the way across the face. There goes a whistle. And a couple striped shirts were in the back waiting for it, and that'll be a free kick for Seeger. Seeger's going to go ahead and make it quickly, looking for Blackman. Blackman spots up the ball. It's ricocheted high into the air, back into the Webster defense, and a helping header right on back to Woodward. Shows you the quick strike capability of the Thunder. You just get that ball up the pitch in about 5 seconds. Thrown on back, Skinker. Cuts it off with the left foot, brings it in toward the middle, slides it on up for Borge. Elliott will make a long through looking for Blackman, slides it on his back shoulder. Adam has to turn and track it down on the far side, brings it back toward the middle, cleared out of bounds off the leg of McHugh. Blackman will have a throw, takes it quickly looking for Goltz. That's deflected off the Webster defense, and that's going to be a corner. That's the right call, as Goltz didn't touch it at all, and it goes off the leg of the center back. And that should have been Michael Dennis. But the Thunder will get a corner kick out of it. Already their third tonight. Anthony and Blackman are over there. Anthony will just advance it simple to Blackman. Now play it to Anthony. Anthony turns, will fire it in with the left foot. Oh, knocked away by the defense. Fired it near post. Now Borge wants to follow it up. It's still loose in the mixer. A kicking bicycle attempt by Goltz is deflected. Nice athleticism there by Steven, but it results in another corner for the Thunder. We'll see what Anthony and Blackman draw up this time. Noah setting it up on just on the outside half of the white line. Now he'll back up a little bit and maybe just send it home himself. He will. Good ball to the back half. Oh, leaping attempts in the air. He'll just slide its way all the way across the 18. Jaspers tracks it down on the far side. Nathan trying to turn it around. It's touched away out of bounds. Another throw coming up for the Thunder. 16.5 to go in the first half. Hollingsworth with the left foot feeds Borge. Elliott steps around, retreats it on back to Jaspers, rolls it into the back circle for Vanderdoos. Julian on the right foot, in toward the box, cleared by the defense, but Jaspers is there to keep it. Possession for the Thunder. Blackman around 1, now 2, spins toward the middle. Denied entry there. Jaspers nearly came on, able to make the steal. Sent on the far side, cleared away and out of bounds. Good pressure by the Thunder, keeping solid pressure in their offensive half to force the issue with Webster and keep it in the attacking half. Looks like the Gorlocks will try to make a substitution their next opportunity. Skinker fires it in, far side, looking for Blackman. Blackman held by the jersey, was able to still win that ball though. Now he's got a few jerseys to worry about. Brings him to Skinker. Skinker slides it on toward the box, looking for Goltz. Headed away by the defense. Jaspers tracks it down and throws it in the back for Russo. Russo advances up front, looking for Clark. Clark's touch. That first half, according to the tally's official score. 17-1 is the official shot count. So the Thunder dominating in that category. Here's Marshall Hollingsworth, who's going to be on the pitch to start the second half. We'll get you second half names and faces here in just a moment. There's a handful of different ones out there to get to. It'll be Anthony here to take it to Hollingsworth. Anthony now playing in the forward's position. Anthony has it, crosses it in over the face, over the crossbar, over everything. And it'll be a goal kick coming up for Webster. A couple shots to the credit of Jaspers. 1 for Stephen Goltz, 5 for Blackman. Blackman got the goal. Noah Anthony had a shot. Josh Clark had 4. Musgraves had 1. And off the bench, John Clark had 2, and Marshall Hollingsworth had 1 as well. Thunder now move from right to left as we see it in their bright orange jerseys. They wore the blues yesterday in their victory. Playing along now that mid side, trying to turn it around and make a play is Jaspers. He'll just roll it on back. So in the back for the Thunder now, from left to right, it goes Anthony Fernandez, Steven Fernandez that is, along with Dan Pavlak. Also joining them back there on defense is Aaron Brown. So Brown getting the starting nod here in the second half. Free kick to be taken for the Thunder, and they take it quickly. Moved into the middle circle for Fernandez. Rolls it far side for Blackman. Plays it on back. Advanced by Pavlak. Turn, and Dan will continue to possess in the Thunder defensive half. Now Fernandez making a streak into the offensive half. He gets tripped up and he goes down hard. He's in some pain as he, not sure if that was his right hand that he's grasping or his left leg. But I'll have to try to walk that off. It is his right wrist that he's looking at, making that fall. Punched up to Clark. Clark sliding it up, looking for John Clark, and Josh wins it back. Will unleash a right-footed shot, and it scoops up into the arms of Brian Woodward. Seeger back in goal for the Thunder. So Hollingsworth, Stephen Goltz, Josh Clark, Chad Musgraves. It's across the top for Wheaton. And toward the middle, Josh Clark looking to win that ball. It's taken away by the Gorlocks. That Vuvuzela rampage that you hear is coming from the adjacent field. More club soccer going on over there. Here's Musgraves looking to win this ball on the far side. He's pushed to the turf, out of bounds. Thunder will have a throw. And Brown to take it. Brown advances it up the far side. Looking for Clark down there on the far side touchline. Rifled back around Jaspers. Plays it on back looking for Brown. Taken away, going the other direction. Brown marks up his man. Is played in toward the middle. Clark to Pavlak for Wheaton. Just over 3 minutes into the second half. Thunder lead by a goal, 1-0. Here's John Clark looking to make a run all the way up for Musgraves. Musgraves looking to cross in toward the middle, looking for Marshall Hollingsworth, but it's touched away by the defense. You could hear Chad calling for that ball as he was running up that right side, looking for John Clark to get it to him. He did, and Musgraves crossed in toward the middle, was deflected away over the end line. Another corner kick coming up for the Thunder. Wheaton had 8 corners in that first half. Clark is setting himself up on the far side of the post. They'll just dribble it in. Brings it toward the box. Anthony in toward the 18. Will unleash a left-footed shot. Oh, and it's saved. Touched off the crossbar. Quick right hand. Able to get to that one. Good save from Woodward as Anthony got plenty on that shot. He's really got a lot of room as he dribbles himself into the box on those attempts. So they get to do the same thing. Now it's coming high pressure. Anthony just chips it on in. Deflected from the defense. A third consecutive corner kick coming up for Wheaton. That's going to be their 11th of the match. So we mentioned they had 8 in that first half. 17-1 total shots advantage for the Thunder, but only 1 of the 17 shots found the back of the net. Anthony slides this one in, looking for a header from here, but deflected away over the end line. There goes a whistle as well. And it will be a free kick coming up for Webster. The Thunder finally scored on a set piece with just under 10 minutes left in that first half. Got him on that near side after a foul was called that Jaspers drew, and it was sent in, and finally Hollingsworth was able to collect a rebound and shot it with his left foot. That was made a nice save by the keeper, but only to have it deflect right to Adam Blackman, who punched it into the back of the net for a goal. Thunder arguably could have more, though, and the numbers definitely tell that story. But currently only lead 1-0. They've dominated possession on offense, but just haven't necessarily dominated the scoreboard. They're looking for a couple more in this second half to finish this St. Louis weekend trip strong before going to Iowa next Tuesday to take on Loras, and then the following Saturday after a few days off. CCIW play will begin, and will begin in style with the rivalry that is between North Park and Wheaton in Chicago. Touched away out of bounds. It'll be a throw for Webster. A week from today, the Thunder will be in North Chicago to take on North Park University. Hear that one on WETN. The women will be there as well, so it'll be a doubleheader as we grow accustomed to during conference play between the Thunder women playing prior to the Thunder men. Ball goes into the middle circle. Clark possesses, turns it, wants a long left-footed looper in the direction of Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth shields, gets himself between the ball and the man, goes near side and chips it along off a defender and over the end line. Another corner kick coming up for Wheaton. Anthony is down there to join Hollingsworth and send this one in toward the box. John Clark is set up down there. Now a flurry of orange jerseys as Anthony sends it on home, looking for a streaking header through, but it's deflected away. Musgraves now outside the box, drops it all the way back for Aaron Brown. Brown with a right foot, changes direction, gets it to Anthony. Anthony with the left foot now to Hollingsworth. Marshall cuts himself in toward the middle, slides it on back, looking back post for a charging Musgraves, touched away by the defense and headed back into the Thunder defensive half. Jaspers comes down with it, slides it on up to Hollingsworth. Marshall sprinting along the left side, feed it into the corner for Anthony. No, oh, great pass into the box for Hollingsworth with the left foot, slides into the box, shot by Musgraves, but it's collected on a save. Oh, and it's nicely done by Woodward. Good find by Anthony, and a good pass by Hollingsworth, and Musgraves tried to poke it home, but couldn't get it past Brian Woodward. That's kind of been the story for the Thunder offensively, having some chances, but Woodward's been able to be up to the task enough to keep this one close. Thunder will have a throw here on that far side. The approach and the toss comes into the box. Looking for a helping header was John Clark. He'll come back out to try to win possession. Knocked away. Now a one-man counter looking to come the other way. It's blasted all the way into the Thunder back. Here's Fernandez. Slides the right footer up to Clark now. Treats it on back for Pavlak. Now Jaspers works his way left side, helps it in toward the middle. Hollingsworth does a great job just to touch it on to Josh Clark, making a sprint up the left side. Clipped away out of bounds. Thunder will have a throw. Retreated on back to Anthony. He's cut off the ball. Out of bounds again. Clark fires it in, looking for Stephen Goltz. Goltz has played the entire minute so far. Here's Jaspers now, slicing his way in toward the left channel. Helps it on for Anthony. Anthony slides it in toward the top of the six. Cleared with the right foot of the defender. Out of the box now. Hollingsworth brings it down. Plays it all the way back for Fernandez. Fernandez into the circle for Clark. Drops it back for Pavlak. Also in that first half, Ryan Seeger credited with 1 save. Brian Woodward credited with 8 saves and 1 goal allowed. So a total of 9 shots on goal for the Thunder. Ball played now in the back. Ooh, falling to the turf is a Thunder Webster forward, and Anthony will take over. Noah, right foot, left foot, crosses it home. Now cut off the ball as it trickles its way out of bounds. Thunder throw in the offensive attacking third. So that goal officially from Blackman came 36. Oh, that's not correct. Came with 8:55 remaining in that first half, so the 36-24 is not correct. Ball is tipped around, touched around the 18 box and along that far side. Now Jaspers possesses over there. Nathan's covering a lot of ground, coming from right to left as a center mid. Brought up by Pavlak. Pavlak continues to dribble. Goes up to Clark. He'll retreat it right on back to Fernandez. Slides it sideline to Anthony. Anthony plays up to Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth steps to win position and then has it slide off his right foot. And it will be a throw for Webster in the defensive third. Well, ball will be thrown in from here and sent along. Anthony rises high into the air. Clark helps it on, trapped down by Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth, the left foot, and he's cut into and sent hard to the turf. And this might be our first caution. Yep, certainly will be. Hollingsworth had to try to cross it in with his left foot and just was upended in the air. Looks like the yellow. Looks like it's Tyler Brown. Number 23 is being called for it. Hollingsworth took that spill. We already saw Marshall right when he didn't start this game, but right when he got in, he was stepped on the back of his heel. So there's our first caution, and it comes into this second half, and it'll be a free kick for Anthony. He addresses. Take it from about 40 yards out, slides it on up, a pretty good ball, headed away by the defense, and will trickle all the way over the out-of-bounds line, and will be a throw for the Thunder from there. Flag says Webster. Well, it's definitely... Thunder were convinced it would be theirs. Ball is sent on up, Pavlak rises in the air to win it. Nice send over to Clark, tried to feed it in toward the 6, looking for someone. Scooped up, though, by Woodward. The lone shot of that first half for the Gorlocks was off the foot of Pat McCaffrey. Give Webster credit. They haven't broke defensively. The Thunder have had chances at the net to make this definitely more than a one-score game. But it hasn't gone their way so far. Ball cleared away out of bounds. Musgraves tries to check it down. Thunder will have a throw here. Coming up on 33 minutes remaining in the contest. Turned around nicely by Golds as he wants to make a play on it. Steps up, travels end line, cleared out of bounds. Another corner kick for Wheaton. Thunder forwards clapping their hands. They're ready to try to put at least one more of these in the back of the net. Musgraves comes over along with Anthony to make this play. Not a ton of room down there to operate against the stands, but Anthony has enough that he needs, and he'll slide it all the way in. A good ball with his left foot, headed in toward the goal, but right at Woodward, who comes over and scoops it for the save. Like Clark, that got the header to it. Trying to make a play. Woodward, a pure drop kick now, sends it forward. Looking for a header, and that's going to be a whistle against Musgraves for a push in the back. Doesn't want it, but such is the case. The Webster Gorlocks are 2-2 overall with their record on their home turf. Playing out of the GLIAC. Ball sent in toward the box, helping header, and Seager will come out and make the play on it. Ryan whips it with his left arm in the direction of Brown, who advances on up, played back behind now to Clark. Continues to make a run is John Clark. Now Stephen Golds drops it on back for Jaspers. Jaspers now to Hollingsworth, plays it back for Anthony. Anthony. And toward the middle goes Noah, rips a right-footed shot, gets deflection off of it though. Over the end line, another corner kick for Wheaton. Thunder showing good poise and control with passes up the center. Anthony will just drop it to Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth brings it to Anthony in the box. Slides a shot in toward the near post that nearly caught Woodward off guard just along the ground. And Woodward, who has a couple steps toward the middle, had to come back and make that play. One false step and it could have gone by him. Here he makes a kick, and Aaron Brown will retrieve and sprint on up to keep possession to Clark. Retreats it back to Josh Clark, up to John. Now Marshall Hollingsworth on the left side. Goes middle for Jaspers. Nathan wanted to turn middle, now turns outside. Oh, a good spot for Clark, and John rips off a shot that gets deflected, turns itself over the out-of-bounds line, and it will be a Webster throw from there. Coming in front was Musgraves to keep that one in possession of the Thunder. It's dropped all the way back. Fernandez calls off for it. Far side for Chad. Rolled in the back for Pavlak. Near side, Anthony in the defensive half. To Hollingsworth. Back to Anthony. Slides it middle for Josh Clark. The triangle continues as Anthony possesses. Wanted to find Hollingsworth, but just striped shirts down there. Stephen Goltz applying one-man pressure, and he does touch that clearance as Anthony wants to make a split. Couldn't do it. Sent with the right foot into the Webster attacking half. Pavlak will cut him off. Pavlak wanted to drop it back to Seeger, just sends it sideline for Fernandez, just simply pushed off the ball there. Hollingsworth, though, recovers for Wheaton. Some one-man offense as Espinosa cuts in front of this cut by Hollingsworth. Sends it in toward the middle. Some offensive momentum being garnered now from the Gorlocks. Ball sent in toward the box. Anthony comes over to cut it off, and Hollingsworth the other way. Marshall chips it with the left foot, looking for Stephen Goltz. Goltz, oh, he had a chance to perhaps cut himself in toward the middle. Make a play. Good hard slide from Clark, wanting to dislodge possession. Couldn't do it fully, but it was effective. Making a step in toward the middle, trying to slide his way to the outside was Tyler Overstreet. Entered the game a few minutes ago. Blackman will re-enter for the Thunder at the next opportunity as we're under a half hour to go. In this contest, Thunder lead 1-0. A throw coming up here for Webster on the edge of the attacking third. Someone's got to come over to take it, though, and no one's there except the assistant coach. Finally, a man comes over, and it'll be Shea Vogt. Hollingsworth has to come up to claim an unmarked man. Now Vogt will approach, send it in toward the box. Clark blocks it. Another shot in toward the box. Score! Oh, he simply caught the Thunder off guard. What a strike.
Webster goal. Score by number 13. Josh Selmeyer.
Josh Selmeyer gets the goal. His first of the year. Senior defender. Josh Clark got in front of one cross in, and then Selmeyer was the first one to it. Thunder can't believe it. Josh Clark sending a long throw up that far side, so Adam Blackman is into the game now, and we're tied up. It's a 1-1 ball game. Had a Webster man on the pitch, and it's going to be a foul against the Thunder. So score that goal with just over 28 minutes to go in the contest. For Josh Selmeyer will go unassisted. Clark pointing a ball long through off his right foot. So Wheaton has to score at least one more time now in order to win the decision. This ball being turned around off the left foot of Kyle Leonard. Played in toward the circle. That ball was just cleaned up and blasted inside the post, and Seeger, safe to say the Thunder defense didn't expect a shot from there, caught a little bit napping. Now Webster making a play into the offensive half. They've got some momentum. Turned over with the left foot, now the right. Getting in front there is Clark, and it's going to be a whistle. Thunder will have a throw from that far sideline. And it'll be Elliot Borge who will come into the ball game, and John Clark will come off the pitch for Wheaton.
Entering the game for the Thunder, number 27, Elliot Borge.
So Borge enters. There'll be a throw for Brown. Slides it on up trying to come over and corral is Goltz. Won by the Gorlocks. Comes along through toward the opposite side. Anthony gets to it. Clears with the left foot. Coming over to try to win it is Tyler Brown. He is there in the vicinity, but Clark is able to win it instead. Clark looking to dance around a charging slide tackle, and Stephen Goltz comes over hard to make a play and pull down a Gorlock defender there. But it'll be first foul called against Webster. And it'll be a kick for the Thunder. Anthony. Verbal signals being called by each respective bench. Thunder will just send a bunch of bodies into the box. Anthony, a long cross and a good one. It's loose in the box before it's headed away. Now Jaspers rises for it. Jaspers sent to the turf. No whistle there. Retreats high. Stephen Goltz helps it into the 18. Come over to pick it up is Woodward. The Thunder chances have been there. They just haven't put them away. And now they found themselves in a locked game. 1-1 here with just over 25 minutes to go. A 63rd minute goal.
Entering the game for the Thunder, number 28.
Or a 62nd minute goal, I should say.
Lesser.
As Jordy Lassard enters the ball game for the Thunder. And Stephen Goltz comes off the pitch. Played along that near side. Oh, helped along nicely. Cut off by Pavlak though. Pavlak shields a man, deciding where to go with it. Turns it around to the outside. Slide tackle and kept away. It'll be a Thunder throw. Anthony to take the throw as the intensity of the match begins to rise. Touched away and another Thunder throw. Clark drop it on back. Nope, he'll take the throw himself. Spin it far side looking for Stephen Goltz. Headed away and out of bounds. Excuse me. Stephen Goltz still remains on the pitch while Chad Musgraves takes his spot on the Thunder bench. Anthony throws it in for Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth wanting to play it away. Cleared by the defense. Espinosa high and out of bounds. We will have a throw. Anthony into Goltz. Goltz wanted to turn around a man. Can't do it. Excuse me, that was Borge. Played back to Fernandez. Fernandez rolls it all the way back to Seeger. Thunder 1. Gorlocks 1. Under 24 minutes to play in regulation. Ball sent along that far side and out of bounds. This ball looking to be thrown in.
Now the game for the Gorlocks, number 25.
As we'll have another substitution. So Carlton Poindexter is the substitution for Coach Marty Tote. And sent in, high header. Comes in toward the Thunder defensive half. Touched away once. Kept in control from Wheaton. Borge collides with another Gorlock to try to win that ball. Webster continuing to string together some offensive momentum here. Keeping it in their half. Good touch comes over here. Ball sent in through the circle. Anthony want to cut off his sails past everyone. And will turn around going the other way. Cutting to the inside is Overstreet. Overstreet drops it on back for Vogt. Vogt sliding his way in toward the middle. Punched away though. Anthony trying to help it near side for Hollingsworth. Marshall clears it away, gets a touch out of bounds. It'll be a Thunder throw from here. First though, another substitution. Coming into the game is number 19, Adam Jones. Saw a little bit of him in the first half.
Game for the Gorlocks, number 19.
And we'll see him again here in the second half.
Into the game for the Thunder, number 14, Jonathan Clark.
So John Clark re-enters here now for Wheaton. This ball helped into the Thunder defensive half. Going high and out of bounds here. Throw in coming for Webster. Their 62nd minute goal so far has equalized it with just over 21 minutes now. 21 and a half minutes to play in regulation. He'll readjust and bring his throw all the way back. John Clark bringing man on pressure. Tipped away. And Lassard clears it out of bounds. Last touch by Webster, so Anthony will make the throw. Anthony slides it on up. Overtaken though here by Jones. Jones makes a sprint all the way up, goes back and forth. Jones, they make a play, slides it over to the left side. Here's a nice through in toward the box, trying to cross from here, and Seeger leaps and makes a save, keeps it in play. Not a bad play by Seeger as the Webster offense got really deep there. And the Thunder need to be on their toes. It's going to be big time soccer for the final 21 minutes. Rolled in the back, Anthony wants to keep it in play. Couldn't get much on it to try to keep it in play. Rolled out of bounds by Jones. Another whistle, we'll have a couple more substitutions. Skinker enters into the game and Aaron Brown will take a seat. Nathan Jaspers enters and Lassard, his minutes are brief as Jaspers enters. Borge taps it on back to Noah Anthony. Anthony steps over with the right foot, goes near side, crosses all the way well over the face. Too much on it as it slides itself over the box. But Clark is there. Clark will send it back in the direction of the 6. First one to it though was Woodward, and he makes the play. Woodward, drop kick over the midfield stripe. Skinker is able to cut it off defensively. Here's some one-man offensive pressure, and it's loose. Pavlak has to turn and cut it off. Boy, the Thunder defense just has not been in sync here in the last few minutes. They're about 20 yards out, and there's a chance to slide in a ball to here, and Seeger has to come all the way out of the 6 to make a play on it. The Thunder defense that was so strong and kept high pressure has looked vulnerable here. Borge drops it on back for Fernandez. Fernandez back to Seeger. Right up to Elliot Borge, and he'll go back to Seeger. Under 20 minutes to play, 19 and a half. Seeger's kick falls into the circle. Borge is there. Borge will go on the right foot. Goes far side for Blackman. First time we've called his name in a while. Blackman steps over, brings himself into the box. Goes near side. Chase to cross from here. Oh, and he found a man in Clark, but Clark couldn't possess outside the 6. Had it touched away. Mel still possessed on that far side, doing battle. There's a whistle. It's going against the Gorlock. So Josh Clark had the ball at his feet now a couple times within striking distance, but not really ball. It had a lot of velocity on it. Too hot to handle. Here's Anthony to set himself up on that far side. The chance to throw it in. He approaches. A low liner. Headed away by the defense. Trickles its way toward the end line. Kept in play for a brief moment. And it will be a throw-in. So good hustle. Keeps it in play.
Number 10, Clint Carter.
So a trio of substitutions. Clint Carter enters, Jeff Wallner enters, and Michael Dennis all enter along with Steven Russo for the Thunder.
Steven Russo.
So it'll be a throw-in here for Wheaton after all the bodies fully enter and exit off the pitch. Under 18 minutes to go now. We're locked up at 1 goal apiece. A first half goal for the Thunder, a second half goal for Webster. Ball is thrown in. Turning around is Borge, and he wanted to play it right on back for Blackman, but Adam wasn't there anymore, and it's out of bounds. So, Thunder still haven't put all their chances in the net. They've had them there. It's been the story so far. All they need to do, though, is, though it hasn't been their best game here on the second night of a back-to-back, following an emotional win against WashU, they still have a chance, though, to get a decision, and that's what they want. Obviously, the victory. Skinker now plays it to himself on the outside, sends it all the way up the pitch. John Clark wanting to be there to cut it off. He loops it high in toward the box, headed away by the Gorlock defense, and out of bounds. They had a chance to perhaps let it drop and clear it, but instead it'll be a throw-in for the Thunder, and Hollingsworth quickly takes it to Anthony. Anthony tries to slide, and has this one kicked away and out of bounds. Hollingsworth will take the throw, and he'll go back to Jaspers. Jaspers slides it up for Borge. Borge being fronted by a man there with some high pressure, dropped into Russo. Slides it on up looking for a cutting Jaspers. Nothing there, though. Cleared by the defense back over the midfield stripe. Played in the back for Russo. 16.5 to go. Russo up to Jaspers. Nathan was pushed down, and there's a foul against Espinosa. Carlos didn't like it. Jasper sets it up quickly and advances to Borge. Elliott turns it around, wanting to make a sprint. He's being held, so he makes his dribble all the way in. We say play on, says the lead official. Borge wanted to go in Clark's direction. Elliott was pushed to the turf again, clearly held as he was making his sprint through. But nothing called. Well, one of those has got to go the Thunder's direction. Now here's Clark in the middle circle. Josh throws it on up for John Clark. Tried to throw it with the right foot, looking for Borge or someone to make a run. Giuliano yelling out some verbal advice from the sideline. Ball sent along that far sideline and cutting in with a slide tackle, but it was out of bounds, and the Thunder will have a throw. Webster has created some more offensive chances for themselves earlier in that second half, and one of them went in for a goal. A long shot from about 20 yards out. Just blasted past a diving Seeger to the near post. It was on the right side. Here's Borge. Borge turned away. Elliott still possesses though, and will try to find Blackman sliding himself all the way through in toward the box. Broken up there. Now Russo to Jaspers, in the back to Fernandez. Rolls it near side for Anthony. Anthony to Hollingsworth. Good help back on to Anthony. Bodies fly and tumble and cleared away out of bounds. That was Wallner, just entered. Jeff Wallner, who made a spill. Ball played in to Hollingsworth. Anthony dribbles himself through the corner, trying to find Marshall in, and he's cut off the ball, shoved to the turf. Cleared out of bounds by the Webster defense, and a corner kick coming up for the Thunder here as we approach 14 minutes to play. Anthony just will play it in to Hollingsworth. Marshall goes back to Noah on his right foot, slides it in toward the box. Oh, and a back heel flick in toward the far post, and it was hit a defender leg. Not a bad idea. That side was exposed. Skinker now repossesses for the Thunder. They've come close a few times on that sequence with Anthony dribbling his way into the box, and they've looked good on each occasion with Josh Clark being near post. Now here's Jaspers working his way physically to win that ball, trying to come toward Hollingsworth, cleared by the Webster defense and played all the way back. Seeger comes out of the box to retrieve. Getting the nitty-gritty time now. Wheaton tied with Webster. And a bit of a as this ball finds Jaspers outside the 6, touched away and out of bounds. He's being held onto and wants a decision there, not called, and there'll be a goal kick coming up. A couple more substitutions. Number 5, Mike Wells enters. Taylor Overstreet re-enters for Webster U.
Number 5, Mike Wells and Taylor Overstreet.
Looks like Poindexter comes off the pitch, as well as Tyler Brown. So a goal kick coming up here for Woodward. Under 13 minutes to go. Wheaton looking for that final go-ahead goal to really put this one away. Just a brief lapse in defense on one occasion. Here's John Clark now, followed by numerous offensive opportunities that have only struck gold once. Fernandez slides it on up toward the 18. Couple bodies knocking around there. Here's Hollingsworth trying to come on to win it. He does it nicely, turns it around, makes a sprint in toward the 18, goes to John Clark. Clark wanted to slide it back into the middle for Hollingsworth, deflected away and over the end line. Clark took a stumble, and regardless, it will be another corner kick for the Thunder. And once again, this time Jaspers will join Anthony down there. We'll see if they decide to slide 1-2, as Jaspers will come on. Anthony will just take it himself, line it all the way through. A header looking for Clark, but it sails everything. Now Borge trying to help it back in toward the mixer, cleared by the defense. Fernandez brings it over the midfield stripe, plays near side for Anthony, but not enough on it. Cut off and kept in play. Opportunity to make a sprint toward that ball, but Russo cuts it off. Russo sends it all the way over to Skinker. Skinker plays it up to Elliott Borge. Borge has possession, working with Blackman, I should say, who makes a sprint up the far side. Elliott, still some room, chips it along for Adam. Outside the 18, cuts toward the end line. Adam turns around, plays it back to Borge. Borge helps it back onto himself, rolls it into the back middle. Elliott still on his right foot, turns it around to best his defender, still on his right foot, now advances to Blackman. Adam, outside the 18 again, waits for something to fire up, steps over once, now tries to go in line again, shielded off, cuts it in on the ground, shot by Clark, oh, he sailed it again! Oh, and that was the one. That was the one. And it just went high of the crossbar.
Warlock's number 16, Justin Peters, and number 4, Pat McCaffrey.
Couple more substitutions. Oh boy. Justin Peters and Pat McCaffrey come on, and Josh Clark, whew, man. A few opportunities have been right there for Josh, but that one had his name written all over it.
Number 19, Adam Jones.
And in frustration, you saw him throw a fist into the air. It came awful dangerously close to his brother John Clark after yelling in frustration. Jaspers comes near side. The clock will have to be stopped here at 10:14. Well, it continues to run, asking for it to stop. And the Thunder bench yells at the people in the press. And Jaspers, they'll reset it to 10 minutes and 20 seconds as about 12 seconds lapsed from the clock from when the lead official asked for play to be stopped. Boy, Thunder are in a bit more of a battle than they thought they would get themselves into, and it should be at least 2-1. It should most likely, pretty safe to say, should be 3 or 4-1. But it's been one of those nights where the opportunities have been there, but the goals haven't. Here's Hollingsworth trying to change that, crosses it in, across the face of charging John Clark. Had a chance at it, but it slid past him. Out of bounds, Webster will have a throw in the defensive third. Webster now just trying to hold on for the draw. Wheaton doing everything possible to get that second goal. That's all they need. They don't necessarily need the dominating victory at this point. Of course, they just can't get it. We're in the final 9.5 minutes. Ball played back to Seeger. Seeger on his right foot slides it on up for Jaspers. Jaspers working around a man, does get it back. Being held on to now, rolls it on back to Clark. Clark on his feet. Josh Clark still has got it. He dribbles to the 18. Oh, he's got Jaspers running through. Jaspers trying to keep it in play. Rolls it. Oh, and it just hits the near side post over the end line. Oh, Nathan just didn't have the angle at it. Well, by the time he tracked it down, it was just sitting itself on the line, and the best he could do was try to roll it through and hope for the best, but it hit the post. It was about a foot outside. Nothing there. So the Thunder still tied. Under 9 minutes, 8:50 to go. Now here comes Clark, dribbling his way through. Now he'll drop it back to John Clark from about 16 out. Chips it past, looking for getting it by the keeper, but Woodward falls on top of it. So the Thunder, sequence after sequence, they have a chance offensively to put something in the net. Tons of shots, tons of them. 17 in that first half. We'll see what the final number will be later on. Now it's played in the back. Fernandez gets to it with the right foot to Anthony, slides it on up for Josh Clark. Clark turns around, will make a sprint himself. Ooh, a hard slide tackle, but Clark works around it. Josh trying to help it on for Hollingsworth, cleared by the defense. Comes all the way back out. Long touch. Anthony comes back to recover for Wheaton. Noah slides it middle circle for Borge. Borge lets it pass in front. Now comes back himself. Into the offensive half, right side for Jaspers. Jaspers wanting a long through, and it's a good one to Blackman. Blackman steps in front, brings it into the box, goes near side toward the end line, has a chance to cross it in, touched away by the legs of the defender, over the end line, and another corner kick. Under 8 minutes. We're setting up for a big finish as Stephen Goltz will enter the game here. And John Clark, who's played effective ball, will enter, but Stephen Goltz just provides a more physical target, and a taller target rather, even on these corner opportunities. So Anthony is down there to take it. Both arms in the air, he slides it in, looking for our post. Heading up is Josh Clark, touched away over the end line. Oh, and they call it's going to be a goal kick according to the lead referee. Thunder wanted deflection, didn't get it. Oh boy. 7 minutes flat to go. Webster would be thrilled if they got a draw out of this for the Thunder. That would be very, very disappointing. Skinker along the far side sends it on up with the right foot, cleared by the defense, but Borge is there. Borge advances far side for Blackman. Adam dribbling about 30 yards out. Now he's closer to the 18. He's into the corner. Adam making a play on the ball. Slide tackle keeps it in front. Good play by the Webster defense. Now Espinosa in the defensive half changes field, but Anthony steps in front to intercept. Anthony being shielded off the ball now. Oh, there's a step over and a false step, and Goltz recovers for Wheaton. Now back to Anthony. Here's Nathan Jaspers near side. Oh, a hard tackle comes off, just shoves Nathan off the ball. That's got to be something. But instead, Webster has a chance to go the other way. Slides it pass in toward the middle circle. Popped back up in the air. Jaspers comes back for it. Here's Skinker now. Skinker going far side, trying to find Blackman. Defense comes on, clears it with the left foot. Skinker now takes a false step. Russo comes high into the air to win that one, but falls to the turf again. There's a man down. We might have to make a whistle here, and Skinker will just touch it away and out of bounds. Clock is still running here, under 5:43. It needs to be stopped, and it finally will be at 5:41. As Russo came together, not sure who that is. Again, it's very tough to see the numbers from here due to the striped jerseys of Webster. But looks like maybe it was Adam Jones. But regardless, he's okay, and we'll play the final 5:41 of the match. As it was out of bounds, and Webster will just throw it in back for the Thunder. And they'll chuck it back, and Seeger will possess in the box. Seeger, drop kick, booms it. Good height, good distance. Now Borge helps it with the left foot. Header of volleys now. Jaspers gets to it once. Now Clark trying to regain it to himself. Cleared by the defense. Fernandez directs a header for Anthony near side. Brings it across the midfield stripe to Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth wanting to go outside with it. Trying to find an angle. Couldn't do it. Now finally does be able to get to it. And that's a foul. And the Thunder will have a kick coming here. Hollingsworth and Anthony are there. They quickly spot it, put some orange jerseys in. 5 minutes to go. Anthony to take it. It's kind of in a tweener zone, not quite deep enough for a corner area. Now Anthony sends it home. Oh, a chance for Goltz in the air. Now Clark trying to find a header, still loose in the mixer. Popped once above the 18. Espinosa trying to head it away, looking for a handball. Nothing called there. Oh, looked like it was a handball in the box. Nothing. Now ball sent back in, still loose. Cleared away. Now Anthony will come over near side. Boy, looked like that was a hand, but the whistle was swallowed. Now here's Jaspers. Drops it back to Clark. Blasts in a shot, but it's blocked. Outside of the box. Cleared away with the left foot of the defense. Now Borge helping it back. Couldn't get it to Anthony. It's out of bounds. Substitutions for Webster.
Entering the gameplay goal line, number 2, Mark McHugh.
The Thunder attacks have been fast and furious, but they have not gotten the advantage. Just one goal in that first half, and it was Adam Blackman in the 26th minute. Now it's slid on up, 36th I should say. Or no, that would be the 37th minute. It's dropped on back now. Russo looking to cut it off. Ball is dribbled over the end line. It'll be a goal kick for Ryan Seeger. He'll quickly place it on top of the 6 and get it underway. He'll drop on back and blast it forward. Gets the right foot into it. Slides it on up, looking for Clark. Clark a helping header. Trapped by Goltz. Good help, looking for Hollingsworth. Dribbles his way in toward the box. Cleared by the right foot of Webster's D. It'll be a throw for the Thunder in their offensive third. Jaspers to take it, takes it quickly to Anthony. Anthony sends it toward the box with the left foot, but it sails everything. No one there to get it. Now Blackman will go and retrieve. Keeps it in play, looking for Skinker. Gets by Kevin, though. Kevin was able to recover, get it back. Roll it back for Russo. Russo into the circle for Fernandez. 3 minutes to go. Now to Anthony. Anthony making a sprint near side. Anthony to Hollingsworth advances to the attacking third. Great move by Marshall to win position. Oh, he's cut down outside the box. Oh, that's going to be a whistle and a foul. Just outside the box it will be. So it'll be a free kick coming for the Thunder. About 16 yards from the end line and just outside the 18. It was close. As we approach 2.5 minutes, Josh Clark has it on his right foot. He'll take it. He might be able to bend a shot from here. We've seen him score a couple times. It'll be a 3-man wall to protect that near side post. Working against the keeper. He approaches. He'll send it home. He blasts it right into the wall and cleared away by the defense. Thunder will have a throw here. 2:10 remaining. Clark, near side, fires it in for Borge. Borge trying to turn around and help it to it himself. Defensive Webster gets to it first. Hollingsworth comes high into the air to win it. Hits once on the turf. Hollingsworth and Clark in the vicinity. Oh, that's going to be a whistle against Clark. And Webster will have a free kick in the defensive half. Now the Gorlocks are on the verge of earning a draw out of this one. The Thunder, there's 95 seconds remaining before overtime as Clark dribbles himself up. Clark slides it over the 18, shoots with the left foot to the goal, and it sails wide. Oh, it was along the ground and just missed the far post. Man, it's one of those nights.
There's the game for the Gorlocks, number 7, David Doggendorf.
No, David Doggendorf enters for the Gorlocks. We're in the final 60 seconds, I should say, of regulation before overtime. Borge, a header looking for Clark. Falls to the turf. Now Hollingsworth making a play on it. Hollingsworth tripped as he gets into the box. There goes the whistle. Oh, where will they set this one up? And Marshall took a hard spill as he made a sprint all the way through. My goodness. And he's on his back in the box. Made a sprint all the way in, maybe lost his breath, but not sure if they're going to get a PK out of this or if it's going to be, it will be another caution. I think that's the second of the match. I think, and that's 2 yellows for the 23 shirt and Tyler Brown. So Brown has to exit the pitch. He's done. And this ball was set where the foul occurred. I see it about 6 inches outside the top of the 18. Now there's a 5-man wall being set up, and the lead official will pace him on back to try to creep a little too close. 44 seconds here in regulation. In the 90th minute, Clark is there to address, step over a couple times. Oh, they haven't even started yet. That wall started to move. Now we're ready. Here's Clark, a shot blocked by the defense and slides over the end stripe, and it'll be a corner kick. So, blasted back into the wall yet again. Corner kick coming for the Thunder. Whistle blows. Clock is stopped at 27 seconds. Now we're ready to go again. Anthony slides it in toward the box. Helped on. Oh, really, Borge tried to help it on with the foot. Now Skinker possesses. Skinker helping it back in toward the circle. Headered once. Now loose in the box. Cleared away by the defense again. Skinker comes on up. Makes it with a header. High boot goes into the air as the 10-second count is on for regulation. Hollingsworth a foot to it at the midfield stripe. This will be nothing here, as that is the end of regulation. 90 minutes down. And it's 1-1 before we begin some 1-1 here on this clear, crisp night. The 6-2 Thunder against the 3-3 Webster University Gorlock. Rolled into the circle, and we're ready for the first overtime. Chipped into the Webster defensive half. Skinker comes on up to win that one. Now here's Josh Clark, has a man on, sprinting his way over to Clark. Touched away. Oh, and Clark pulled him down. They want a caution out of the, and they're going to get a caution out of it. I don't know if that warranted a yellow, but it will now. Webster finds themselves right in the middle of this one here. Of course, it's golden goal. Whoever gets on the board first will come away winners. This ball's chipped along. High in the air comes Fernandez. Now Borge chips it on back for Clark. Clark with the right foot sliding, looking for a through for Blackman. Falls over the defense twice now and picked up by Woodward, who has 13 saves in this match already. Webster has been called for 15 fouls. The Thunder called for 9 in regulation, now 10 after the yellow to Josh Clark. Ball played at the feet of Espinosa, rolls it far side, but Anthony cuts it off. So the Thunder going in the direction that they did in that first half, which is left to right. Moved right to left in that second half. Ball sent in looking for Hollingsworth to make a long sprint, but it's touched way over the end line. It'll be a goal kick. Hollingsworth wanting to be that one-man wrecking crew with his speed, but just couldn't do it. Seems like in a situation like this, it would seem to favor the Thunder because Webster needed to build some offensive momentum in order to get any goal chances, and then when that momentum died, they really haven't had any looks at all. But for Wheaton, really it's been chance after chance after chance, and they've created it with not very much offense. There's a collision on the near side between Russo and another Webster forward, and that one you could hear all the way up here. Russo coming over hard. They were both making plays at the ball, seemed to be clean. Russo comes up the better for it, and the Gorlock forward still on the turf. Again, we can't tell exactly who it is. Clock will have to be stopped, and it is here with 8:10 remaining in the first overtime. And he's holding his face. Not sure if he got popped in the chin or the nose, but I tell you, that was like more like a linebacker hitting a running back. Although both were making plays on the ball, so no card at least has been awarded or shown yet, as Russo came in hard, making that play. Stephen bounced right back up and retreated to the defensive line. It was a foul against Russo, though. And it looks like he might require attention with the first aid kit or whatnot, and now bouncing back up, trying to read that number. Not sure if it's 23 or not, but in any case, he gets up and he'll have to go to the sideline to be looked to by the trainers. It'll be a set piece now coming for Webster. You never know what could happen as Espinosa lines it up. Thunder defense needs to make a play on a clearance. Espinosa crosses it in, headed away by Blackman, or Clark rather, and it goes the other way. Cleared all the way back to the keeper in the Gorlock defensive half. Comes out, sends this one high into the night sky. Russo gets to it with a header. Clark shoulders it onto himself. Got some man on, he's tripped up hard, and he goes to the turf. You see, somebody's gonna, we've already had one ejection, it was a red card. Now the clock will be stopped as the lead official will talk to him, to the man who got it, and will point and bring him all the way back. This play's been stopped, and not sure exactly what the discussion is here too between the lead official and Mark McHugh here in the back, but regardless, there's no caution, there's no anything. And the Thunder will have, nope, a substitution first for the Gorlocks is coming onto the pitch. Now is number 18, Jeff Wallner. So, hand in the air, it's Clark, and he approaches, sends it forward with the right foot. Stepped in front now, it's loose over the far side for Fernandez. Now Hollingsworth. Played into the back, now it's out of bounds. Clark will come over to make a throw on that far side. Fires it in toward the offensive third. 7.5 remaining in the first overtime. Between Webster and Wheaton. Josh Clark, right foot, trying to send it on for Blackman and couldn't do it. Slid on by the defense and a diving stop made by the keeper, though that was unwarranted. And it will go the other way. Ball ricocheted around as Jaspers now gets a foot to it. Plays far side. Anthony trying to spring it on down. Jaspers continues to possess. He's sent to the turf, and that's going to be a foul. The Wheaton Thunder women's team was victorious tonight 5-0 in Ohio over Ohio Wesleyan. Of course, they unfortunately sustained their first loss of the year on Wednesday at Wisconsin-Eau Claire. Possessing on the far side is Antonita Fernandez. Of course, the Thunder women ranked top in the nation going into the week, thanks to their 4-0 victory over Wash U last Saturday. Here's Borge possessing in the middle. Elliott steps around again. Continues to win constant possession into Hollingsworth now. Marshall rolls in for Clark. Josh plays middle for Jaspers. Jaspers helps it on Borge. Now Anthony trying to keep himself in front of it. Deflected away by the defense. Almost out of bounds. Kept in play though. Thunder continue to possess in the offensive half. Under 6 minutes for the first overtime. Clark dances around one man, tries to sprint his way past another. Hard defense coming on to win that one away and cleared off into the Thunder defensive half. Fernandez to corral. Dropped up, far side, Anthony. Slides Borge. Back to Fernandez, but Steven had to go by him. They'll go back and get it back, and he goes right side for Russo. Russo drops into Jaspers. Jaspers back to Russo. He's in the offensive half. Past the circle. Slides it on up, looking for Jaspers making a run. I'm not sure Nathan Newell was coming. Cleared by the defense. Back to Fernandez. Boy, you can just tell that Webster's treading water as there's physical cutoff there. Hollingsworth gets sent down to the turf. Another foul. Set piece coming for Wheaton, about 35 yards out. Anthony to set it up. Skinker is in the back with him. Other than that, it's orange jerseys positioned along the far post. Anthony to set it up. He's ready. Comes in, a one-man wall. It's in toward the post. A header coming, but it sails wide. Well, it's the best that Clark could do to try to get that header in toward the post, but went off the back half of his head. Over the end line. 4.5 minutes remaining in overtime number 1. Thunder tied with the Gorlocks of Webster 1-1. 27th minute goal by Adam Blackman at the tail end of the first half. 37th minute goal, I should say, from Adam Blackman. Now as Blackman possesses, trying to feed Jaspers. Now Skinker making a run on that far side. Skinker gets in front of a man, slides it end line. Skinker now works his way into the box, goes near side, and it's punched away over the end line. Will be a Thunder corner kick. 4 minutes to go in the overtime. Thunder being very vocal on the bench. Webster trying to offer their own support as well. Wheaton's always pride themselves in vocality support from the bench. This ball's brought in by Anthony into Blackman. Blackman helps it on to Anthony. Anthony about 18 out. Shoots with the left foot. Diving save made. Oh man, a great save made by the keeper Woodward as Anthony let loose with a shot, but Woodward stopped it in its tracks. And he gets a boot to it all the way into the Wheaton defensive half. That would have been the winner. Now, here's Borge. Borge to Jaspers, sprints his way through the circle. Nathan now, it's shocked how much possession the Thunder have had as opposed to Webster's time of possession, but that doesn't matter. On the scoreboard, it continues to read 1-1. 3 minutes remaining into the defensive half, and Skinker is there. Skinker slides it back on up for Borge. Elliott with the right foot. Comes back to Blackman. Blackman, oh, great job to work around a defender as he comes in toward the box, cleared away, and off of Blackman as his hip got in front before he had a chance to cross it into Clark at the top of the box. A couple more substitutions now. If anything, here comes Carlton Poindexter into the game now for the Gorlocks. Throw in for Webster in the defensive third. The approach and the slide on up, comes back, popped high into the air. Still in Wheaton's attacking half. Clark has it at his feet, plays a through for Blackman, looking to get him in toward the circle, or into the box rather, slid away over the end line. Will be another corner kick for Wheaton with 2 minutes to go in overtime number 1. Anthony will come over to the near side, to this near corner to play it with Blackman. Total corner kicks in the first 90 minutes. 16 for Wheaton. Anthony, he looks like he'll just play this one all the way in. Slid in, ball is loose in the mixer, popped out to the top of the 18. Hollingsworth is there to cut it off. Hollingsworth will just retreat and play it all the way back to Skinker. Skinker slides it over to the left side for Russo. Helped in with the left foot, looking for a helping header and trying to find Blackman on the back side, but Blackman slipped before as it was loose in the 18. Trying to advance it up to Poindexter, but Fernandez got in front and clears it away and out of bounds. 1:15 remaining in overtime number 1. Ball is thrown in along that near sideline. Coming over is Blackman as well as Skinker there to defend. Played in the back, off of the right foot of Mark McHugh. Rolled into the Thunder defensive half, and 1 minute remains in overtime number 1. Couple of bodies coming to fly in here, and there goes the whistle. It'll be against the Gorlocks, so the Thunder will take a kick, and they'll want to take it quickly. Fernandez advances it on up. Sent now into the middle channel for Borge. Elliott dribbling past Poindexter here. Poindexter shadowing him on the left side. Borge helping it in toward the box, looking for charging Stephen Goltz, but the first one to it was the keeper Woodward instead. Woodward, pure drop kick, hits the turf once, and the only people there is Skinker. All the orange shirts. Skinker with the left foot rolls into the middle for Borge. Borge turns it around. Will advance it along that far side for Anthony. Anthony steps into it. Low liner with the left foot. Goltz pops it high into the air with the right foot. 10 seconds left as it's loose at the top of the 18 and cleared away by the defense. And that'll do it for overtime number 1. Well, you can't say that this is what we expected when we arrived here to AB Soccer Complex. Purchased this complex, built in 1982, purchased in 1985 by Anheuser-Busch Beer Company, as they have created their headquarters here in St. Louis. Of course, that's where Busch Stadium resides, home to the St. Louis Cardinals. About 20 miles outside of downtown St. Louis, and Busch Stadium is where we are at right now. Have another brief timeout before we begin the second 10 minutes of overtime play. We've already played 100 minutes flat, and the Thunder will gather in a circle here on the pitch, and they'll talk to themselves, maybe get a team prayer in before they get ready for this final 10-minute battle against the Gorlocks. You can see the trainer, Trisha Dieter, is out in that 10 in that first half, 10 in the second half, 27 in the first 90 minutes. 13 saves made by Woodward. So, while the stat sheet really favors the Thunder, and that's an understatement, on the scoreboard it continues to read 1-1. That's part of the nature of the game. So the team will change sides, and we'll go to the same directions as we did in that second half. Thunder from right to left, Webster from left to right. If neither team has scored in the next 10 minutes of play, then we'll have earned a draw between the two sides. Here's Borge in the middle, wins possession, gets it to Jaspers. Jaspers wanting to advance it on up for Clark. Good step and take away from the Webster defense. A clearance off the right foot comes to Anthony. Anthony drops near side for Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth keeps it in play along his feet. Rolls to Jaspers in the middle. Jaspers dribbles, wanting to play a through, looking for Clark. Clark turns it around. The keeper comes off his line to make a play on the ball. It's still loose and then cleared by the defense away and out of bounds. Anthony to take the throw, drops it into Hollingsworth. Marshall, ball on his left foot, still being fronted as he tries to dance around a couple of defenders. He's always double teamed over there. Anthony now throws it in the back for Fernandez. Fernandez steps up with the right foot, slides on over to Jaspers. Nathan peels back, goes with the right foot, cuts in toward the middle, being fronted by Espinosa. Now plays to Anthony. Noah turns around on his left foot. Ball trapped, now goes to Clark. Clark circling. Goes ahead and drops it right on back to Anthony on the near side. Anthony, wanted to find Hollingsworth, but Hollingsworth did not make the turn in. The ball's cleared off of Anthony and over the end line for a goal kick. 90 seconds in to the second overtime. Thunder 6-2 on the year. Lone losses have come at Dominican last Tuesday and at Whitworth a couple weekends prior to that during this trip up to Spokane. Thunder have not played an overtime match yet this year. And here is Blackman winning it on the right foot. Now Clark will just unload with the left foot, and it sails well high and everything. About 30 yards out. Point of impact with that shot. Another goal kick coming up. Under 8 minutes in overtime period number 2. Boy, it'll be a pretty disappointed Thunder squad if this is where the scoreboard stays. A ball game that on paper they've dominated so far. Now, here's Clark coming back into the middle circle, but it wouldn't be the first game of soccer that has been played this way, I can tell you that. Here's John Clark, who's on the pitch as well. Deflected away, will be a Thunder throw in the offensive third. Anthony gives it into Jaspers. Jaspers, near side now, touched away, trying to keep it in play, working around a defender. Good tackle though, and it comes back the other way. Adam Jones turns the corner and sends it into the Thunder defensive half. Skinker, the closest person to it, will turn it around and feed it on back to Ryan Seeger. 7 minutes to go in the second overtime. Rolling on up to Borge. Elliott brings it across the midfield stripe. Borge travels on his right foot. Now on the outside. Chips it into the channel for Josh Clark. Comes around. Oh, he shoved to the turf. There goes the whistle. Clark trying to win possession there, and he was just bumped off the ball and enough to get him down. And now a set piece coming from on the edge of 30 yards, about 28 yards I'd say, and Borge is around there. Borge, Jaspers, Anthony, and of course Josh Clark, who has always been the one to take this shot. Although Anthony might have a chance in it here. There's a 4-man wall at the top of the 18. Stepped over. Anthony's going to shoot. He goes to the post, and it's deflected off the keeper over the end line. So it was Anthony to take the shot with the left foot this time. It will result in a corner kick for the Thunder. Anthony and Blackman come over to take it. 6 minutes remaining in the second overtime. Anthony is ready. Both arms up. He approaches. It's a lone liner. Scoots itself in toward the mixer. Popped up over the end line. And it will be a goal kick for the Gorlocks. Couple substitutions now coming up for Webster.
Number 27, Tim Robinson.
As the clock continues to count down from 5:40.
Taylor Overstreet.
Coming into the ball game, Tim Rothermel for the Gorlock, as well as, I'm not sure who else was called. Michael Dennis, perhaps, was the other number that's entered into the game. Or Carlton Poindexter. This ball is headed back in toward the Webster defensive half. Looking for a deflection there. They thought it was called, and Giuliano wanted the deflection, but lead official didn't see it. And it's going to be a goal kick. Sideline judge didn't see it either. Thunder sideline thought it was clear. Here's the approach and the sent in by the goalkeeper. Header won by Clark. Under 5 minutes to go in the second overtime. Into the 106th minute of play. Rolled back to the Webster defensive half. Cleared out of bounds. And of course Webster's doing all they can just to keep it away. This ball was a quick throw in. Popped up. Deflected away. And it's going to be a corner kick for the Thunder. Well, we've said that plenty of times, but the corner kick has not resulted in a direct goal yet. Hopefully this will be the one. Anthony and Blackman on the far corner to set it up. As always, Anthony ready, wants to put a good ball in here. Instead, we'll just drop it right into Blackman. Feed it into the ball to Anthony. Anthony sets up, shoots with the left foot. Oh, and it sails wide. And it just sliced itself past that far post. Anthony's had that shot open a couple times, one of which happened in that first overtime. A diving save was required and was made nicely. 3:45 to go. Ball helped in. Anthony takes it down, touches it off the defender high and out of bounds. A throw-in to be taken, and it will be taken by Anthony in the attacking half. Noah slides it on up. Oh, Jaspers is shouldered off the ball, just hitting the head there, and then the header was cleared away. Not sure if the official saw that either. Anthony throws it in, possessed by Clark, touches away, cleared off by the defense, and out of bounds. Will be a Gorlock throw in the defensive half. Another substitution for Webster.
Number 23, Tyler Brown.
It'll be Tyler Brown to enter the ball game for Webster Yale. As there's 3 minutes to go, 3 minutes flat remaining in the ball game. Quite an unexpected contest. That's going to be a whistle blown against Webster. Foul called. Thunder will have a chance to set it up. They'll come to the ball quickly. Anthony to take it. Orange shirts flock to the box. They've got to be tired legs out there now. So starters have played the majority of the minutes, especially in the second half. Anthony strikes it. It's a low liner. Helped in with a good header. It's loose, still loose in the mix, and then cleared by the defense. Good helping header as Anthony comes back to track it down. 2.5 minutes remaining. Anthony slides it on up for Borge. Borge making a play into the box, goes to Fernandez. Fernandez follows it right side for Skinker as he brings it into the attacking half. Skinker continues to dribble from about 30 yards out, tries to help it on into that far corner, deflected away by the defense, cleared and out of bounds. Blackman will have a throw here in the attacking third. Blackman sets it up. Now we'll just fire it in on the ground, help back to him by Borge. Now Blackman goes end line, comes back in toward the middle, chips it in, deflected high, away, and over the end line. Another corner kick for Wheaton, 1:45 to go. They're just dying for one of these to be the winner. Anything. Anthony will take it quickly and drops it to Blackman. Blackman comes in. He's giving Noah another chance to shoot from here on the ground, and it's wide again. Wide again. Just that one executed strike hasn't been there. Gorlock trying to make one more substitution, but Coach Giuliano wanted to make sure to come over and not let that happen, to bide more time. Coming up on 60 seconds to go in the second overtime. Ball is headed in. If the Thunder want a victory, it has to happen now. Anthony slides it on up, looking for John Clark. Helps it on for Hollingsworth. Can't keep it in bounds. 50 seconds, and now the substitution will come. Clock continues to roll, and the Thunder are going to have to walk away from this, most likely with a draw at their hands. Definitely not what they expected. As we enter the final 35 seconds. Ball is rifled in the defensive half. Falls all the way back to the Thunder defensive half. 30 seconds to go. Fernandez turns it around, goes to Russo. Russo brings it up, sprints himself into the offensive half, chips it all the way in toward the box, and it's loose as collision is made with the keeper. Whistle will go against the Thunder. 15, and it will be a goal kick, and we'll have to walk away from here with a draw. That's really unbelievable, is all you can say.
3, 2, 1.
And there you go.
The game